Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I hope you guys are doing well. So in today's session, we are going to discuss some of the ask coding interview questions in TCS digital exam. Okay. So you can even expect this kind of questions in face-to-face interview. So they may ask you to write the logic for this kind of codings. Okay. So let's discuss these questions and then we are going to write the code for it as well. So the first question is Jack and Jill are playing a string game. Okay. Jack has given Jill two string A and B. Okay. So here we have string A and string B. Okay. So these are the two strings we have. Jill has to derive a string C. So using this two, we have to derive a string B. Okay. Jill needs help to do this task. She wants to program to do this as she is lazy. Okay. So you have to write a program on behalf of Jill basically. Okay. So let's see what we can do here. So in a first example, okay, if you take the example one, what they are saying is your string A is A is tiger, okay, Tiger, okay, and B is T and I, okay. So whatever the elements present, whatever the characters present in the string B, okay, these characters needs to be deleted from string A, okay. And if you delete Ti from this A string, what are you going to left with is gr. So gr is going to be your string C. So you do not have to only delete ti, rather you have to delete all the characters from string A, which is T and I. Okay. So even if it is like TIGRT, so you need to delete this as well. Okay. So that is what we understand from example 1. Let's see what is example 2. Example 2, if you see, this is PROCESSED processed. Okay. This is your string 1, or you can say A. Now what is the string B? So this is EST. Okay. So simply guys, you have to see in a string A, if we have E, A's and D characters. Okay. So this is S, this is E, this is D, this is E. Okay. So we need to delete all these characters. Okay. So what is going to be your C string? That is going to be PRONC. Okay. So guys, let's create a class called class array example, something like this. Okay, let's create a static void main. Okay, string A is equal to console dot read line. Okay, so here we are going to store the string A value in A. Let's do the same for string B as well. So here we can write B and then string B is equal to this. Okay, and then what we need in the result is string C. Okay, so string C is equal to, let's define a method called get string C. Okay, and then what we are going to pass to this method is A comma B, both the string, right? So let's write static. The return type is going to be string. Okay, and the name of this method here. Okay, let's write a string A comma string B. Okay, now let's implement this method. So what we are going to do here is, guys, let's declare one string. So string third is equal to, simply I'm going to declare one empty string. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, guys, is all the characters of a string A which does not exist in string B, I'm going to store it here. Okay, so character C in A. Okay, I'm going to loop through each character of the string A, and then I'm going to check if B dot index of, okay, C is equal to minus. So if index is -1, which means does not exist. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply write third plus is equal to C. That's it. Okay, and then after this for each loop, I'm going to return third, right? And then let's print this result. So the third string is, okay, let's do something like this. Let's include this dollar sign here. Okay, and then let's give C. Okay, and just to hold this console for a while so that we can see what is the output we are getting, we can write console dot read line. Okay, so that's done. Are you ready to see what happens to this? Let's see. Let's execute this program. Okay, Okay guys, so it is asking me to enter a string A. Okay, so let me enter processed what we have seen there. Okay, so now it has asked me to enter a string B. So I think it was est as far as I remember. Okay, so let's see what is the output we are getting. So see, we are getting the string as proc. Okay, let's try with one more example. Let's enter the string A as Pankaj, string B as, let's say, A. Then it should eliminate A from both these palaces. So what we are going to get is PNKJ, 4 letters string. Okay, let's see. So yes, we got it. So guys, this code has one glitch which I'm not going to solve for now. It's quite minor. If you try with some examples, you'll get to know what glitch it is. Okay, so I'm leaving it for now. So if you find it out, please do comment it out. Okay. So it says given n gold wires, each wire has a length associated with it. At a time, only two adjacent small wires are assembled at the end of a large wire at the cost of forming is the sum of the length. Find the minimal cost. All wires are assembled to form a single wire. Okay. So what they have done is they have taken an array and then they are adding this 2 here. Okay. So this is the first one and then they have this array now. So they are adding this. Okay. Fine. So what you have to ideally implement is, let's discuss here. Okay. So we have an array called, let's say this is your array and you have the elements as 7, 6, 8, 6, 1, 1. I think these are the elements you have, right? So what they're asking you to find the minimum cost. Okay, and every time they are just adding a smallest two numbers from this array. Okay, so what I'm going to do here in the code is I'm going to sort this array in descending order. Okay, so when I sort this array in the descending order, what I'm going to get is 8, 7, 6, 6, 1, 1. Okay, so in the first step I'm going to sum this 2. Okay, so this will give me result as 2. Okay, so this side I'm going to add. Okay, and the new array is going to be 8, 7, 6, 6, 2. So what are the two smallest element we have? We cannot take more than 2. Okay, so these two are the smallest ones, so we can take 6 plus 2, which is 8. And then what is the new array we are having? 8, 7, comma 6, comma 8. Okay, now again you guys have to sort it in the descending order. Okay, 8, 8, 7 and 6. So in the third step you have to sum these two, right? So this will give you 13, right? In the next step you will be having array as 8, 8 and then 13. Now again you have to sort it, so this will give you 13, 8 and 8. Okay, again if you do the sum of two smallest number of the arrays, it will give you 16, right? Now you are only left with two elements, so doesn't matter whether you sort it or not. So 13 comma 16, when you sum it, this will give you 29. So total length of the wire is going to be the sum of all these number that we have found it out. So it's going to be 2 plus 8 plus 13 plus 16 plus 29. Okay, so this is going to give you 10, 23, and then 16 is the 39, 39 plus 29, which is 68. Okay, 68. Let's write a class called what is this? Let's write this as array manipulation. Okay, then let's create a main method and then let's declare an array of integer. Okay, let's take the same example what they have taken and let's try to see if we are getting the result or no. Okay, 7, 6, 8, 6, 1 comma 1. Okay, so this is our array, right? Now what we want in result is we want a single number. Okay, so we can write where result is equal to get length of wire. Okay, and what we are going to pass as an input to this method is this array. Okay, so let's pass this array. Okay, so guys, let's implement this method. Okay, so static, I want the return type as integer, single number, right? So int the method name, and what we are going to pass here is array of integers. Okay, so let's name it as array. Okay, So here we have to build one logic. So guys, we have to iterate through loops, and how many times we are going to run our loop? So until and unless we get the last two elements of the array. Okay, what we can do is we can write int I is equal to array dot length. Let's take what is the length of the array, and then we can apply the while loop, and we can run this loop until I is greater than is equal to 2. Okay, and after every iteration we are going to decrease the value of I with I minus 1. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is we are going to arrange this array in a descending order. Okay, so let's take one descending array, and then we can do array dot order by descending. Okay, and then extend to x dot array. Okay, now what is the next thing we want to do is we want to sum the last two element of the array. Okay, so let's take one more integer variable, int sum is equal to 0. Okay, and then here we can write sum is equal to descending array, and we want to take the last element. So what would be the last element? Descending array dot length minus 1. Okay, so this is giving me the correct suggestion, and then plus the second last. So second last will be length minus 2. Okay, so we can write descending array dot length. Okay, dot length minus 2. So ideally we will be able to add the last two element. Guys, let's create one more array which will be dynamic. So variable new array, and this is going to be what we can say new int, and let's think about the size. Okay, so every time the size of this new array is going to be decreased. Okay, so for the first time the size of this new array is going to be one less than this descending array that we have created. So what we can write here is descending array dot length minus 1. Okay, so this will create, for the first time this will create new array having length as 5. Okay, now you have to think about filling this new array. Okay, so if you think of this, okay, so let me just show you something. Okay, so after descending, what we are going to get here is 8 7 6 6 1 1. Okay, when you add the last two element, what we are going to get is 2, and the new array what we want is 8, okay, 7 6 6 2. Okay, so guys, if you see, I can copy this element to new array, and then at last I will copy the summation of these two where we have a stored in some variable. Okay, array, okay, dot copy, and then we want to copy the descending array, right? So descending array, comma, where we want to copy is in the new array. Okay, new array, and then comma, and up to what length we want to copy is obviously up to 4 elements only. Okay, so what we can do here is new array dot length minus 1. Okay, so now new array will be having this 4 elements, right? But we want to fill the last element of the new array. So what we can write here is new array, okay, then new array dot length minus 1 is equal to sum, right? So we want to assign the 1 plus 1 to the last element. Okay, now let's debug it and see whether our logic is correctly working. As of now, let's return 0. Let's put one breakpoint here. Let's run it. So let's go one by one. So descending array, let's see what is the element we got. Yes, so it has sorted it. Now let's see what we got in the new array. Okay, so new array is obviously going to be array with 5 elements. So as of now 0 0 0, and sum we got as 2. Okay, now when we execute this line array dot copy, all these 4 elements are going to be copied. Let's see that. So now let's see what is having in new array. So if you see 8 7 6 6, 4 elements have been copied, but we have not copied the last element. Okay, so for that this line is going to do the magic. Let's see now. So if you see now new array, what is the value of new array? So 87662. So guys, we got the first iteration element that we have got it here. Okay, if you see 87662. So guys, what I'm thinking is I'm thinking to move this logic in a different method, and I'm going to call that method every time for all the iteration. Okay, So let me do one thing. Let me just cut it from here and let's create one more method. Okay, so static. I'm going to put the return type as array. So every time it will return me the updated array. Okay, so let me just put the return type as integer array. Okay, and then return updated array. Okay, and what it is going to take in input is the integer array. Okay, array, and then let's move this logic here. So this array, right? Okay, we got it. So sum, this sum is going to be declared here. So int sum is equal to 0. Okay, and then what we are going to return here is new array. Okay, so every time we are going to return this new array, right? And then from this method we are going to call, let's say var updated array is equal to, and then we are going to call this method. Okay, so this is going to return me the updated array every time with size -1. So what we are going to pass here is this array. Okay, but here we are observing one problem that we are not getting the sum. Let me just use one ref property. So we can write int and then temp sum is equal to 0, and then here I'm going to write ref sum. Okay, sorry, ref temp sum, and then here I'm going to ref and temp sum. I'm going to assign this sum to this temp sum. Okay, before returning. So let's do that. Temp sum is equal to sum. Okay, so for every time this method is going to run, I'm going to return a temp sum. Okay, and then so let's name it as some total wire length. Okay, because you want to calculate the total wire length. And then every time this return updated array returns something, so obviously it is going to return me the addition of last two elements. Okay, a smallest element. So we are going to get it, and then we are going to add it to this. So this is equal to this plus temp sum. Okay, I think as of now it is giving problem because we want to initialize this original array here, but when this method returns the array we want to use it for the next iteration as well, right? So how we can do that? So we want to use the return type something like this. Let's see, something like this, array is equal to this. Okay, so guys, let's debug it. Okay, so I will put a breakpoint here and I will put a breakpoint here. Okay, let's debug it. So for the first iteration, let's see what is our array. Yes, so it is having 5 elements. Great. What is the sum of the total wire length? 2. That is great. For the second iteration, let's see what is the array. Yes, it is having length of 4. That's good. What is the sum? Sum is 10. That's great. For the third iteration, array is having length 3. That's great. And what is the sum of total wire length? That is 23. Okay, that's great. For the fourth time, let's see what is the array. So array is having just two elements, 13 and 16, and summation is 39. So that's great. Now I do not want this loop to go. Okay guys, so what I can make here is I can just make it as greater than 2. Okay, and then I can write one condition here to check if the length of this array is 2. Okay, obviously for the last iteration when I is 3, the length is going to be 2. Okay, so if I can check array dot length is equal to 2, if that is the case, then I'm going to write this is equal to this plus last two element of the array. Okay, so array of 0 plus array of 1. Okay, because I know that it has two elements, or you can write array dot length -1 plus array dot length -2 as well. Okay, and let's run it. Okay, I need to return this, right? So I need to return this one, true here. Okay, now this method returns the sum total wire length. Okay, let's run it. Let's see what is the value we are getting. Yes, so we are getting 68. So that is what our requirement is, right? If you want, you can log this output as well, something like the total length of wire age, something like this, plus result. Okay, and let's see. we can use console dot read line. Okay, then let's run this. I don't want any breakpoint, so let's remove it and let's run it. So you're going to get 68. Okay, so thank you for watching, guys. We'll meet up in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care.